What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and Finger Saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I have a lot of news and I have to admit that pretty much all of them are extremely important for our community. And on top of that, guys, I have to admit that we can see even more momentum. We can see that our community is gaining even more momentum in its efforts to achieve main goals. And on top of that, guys, I will show you the set of updates from the litigation field of our community. And definitely this might also be very interesting for you as an MMTLP shareholders. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's begin today's video with this tweet that was written by Mark Basil. And I have to admit that this tiny tweet, guys, consists a lot of information that potentially might be a real bombshell not only in MMTLP case, but in other cases as well. And let me quote you this in details. MMTLP. Lots of info circulating regarding a 3A10 transaction, and it may or may not be completely right. A 3A10 transaction is used by issuers to get a certain amount of shares free trading without registration. However, at least to me, I'm only familiar with its use in a scheme that allows an issuer to take legitimate debt that it owes to a third party. I have even seen it used by insider, which is likely more than a scheme, and settle that debt through the courts, requiring a judge to sign off after a fairness hearing authorizing the shares to be issued in satisfaction of debt by issue 3 trading securities. I am also not aware that a foreign tribunal, a Canadian court, can order this under US securities laws, but stranger things have happened. Here is a 2012 case that the FBI brought against an architect of this type of scheme. This post is designed to be educational and is not a legal advice. And guys, he added this news release that was made by FBI in San Diego, California, and this case explains how the system works, how the insiders can issue more shares as completely unregistered shares. This means, guys, they can dilute the existing shareholders without even all the procedures. And let me show you some details. Here you can see we have basically a couple of insiders and they issued up to 9 million, more than 9 billion shares non-registered stocks, and they do it through the 3A10 exemption. They gave a loan from the company to another company, and then they purposefully default the loan agreements. Then they came to a court, and judge rules to issue shares from the company A in order to cover the defaulted debt of the company B. And this process was completely unregistered in SEC, and that is why, guys, it is pretty much a free money that insiders could have with this type of exemption. And guys, quite interesting part I found in the comment section. Trader Zero, in response to this tweet, wrote this: if it's regarding the A series dividend, here is the signed court order from the fairness hearing that encompassed the full arrangement agreement. The TRCH MMAT RTO used a 3A10 exemption to skirt Securities Act and SEC scrutiny. The A series shares as MMTLP were exempt and stated they were in the DEF M14A covenant section. And he added this final order of the court. And guys, it is not the end. Take a look right here. Mark responded, yeah, That's fatal. The 3A10 allowed the shares to be traded as they were 33 Act and 34 Act restriction free. They just needed a platform, OTC markets, to trade on. That 3A1 allowed for an unsolicited quote by the person holding or had hypothecated those or some of those free trading shares represented by a broker to post an unsolicited quote after FINRA cleared it. Wait a second, somewhere here, the answer of Trader Zero. It also freed up insiders from 144, if it's ever made public. I would bet good money or an insider started it trading. It was a gift to anyone who traded the stock without the hype. I see this whole thing as an asset grab play. I base it on all the related actions to protect the assets of McCabe and Brda, convincing the board to not sell but spin out and drill to comply with the UL lease. And McCabe buying the loan and adding 25% interest in Orogrande before the spin-off, effectively stripping out the value of the A-series shares and lying about not wanting to trade while doing everything needed to allow it to trade. And guys, I have to admit that again it is quite a brave statement, and let me quote you the answer of Mark Basile. If MMTLP started trading on October 2021, the insiders would still need to wait until January 2022, Rule 144, 6 months from the date of the issuance of the Series A preferred security, in order to be able to take advantage of the Rule 144 exemption. But you are right, they could. Did anyone sell early? They needed an attorney opinion letter to sell under an exemption. Where are they? And MMAT would know exactly who was selling under the exemption, whether it was during the holding period or afterwards. And guys, I have to admit that if something happened, definitely John Brda, Greg McCabe and George Palikros knew about this, and if it happened, guys, and these three people didn't mention about these actions in the official statements or in just public or in just social medias, I have to admit that we have even more questions to these people. And guys, I have to admit that, wait a second, I have another tweet that was written by Mark just 15 hours ago in response to the tweet that was hidden by the restriction policy of the author. And Mark responded, thanks Frank's place, this is a very good summary, but as you can see from the bulletin, it's also open for study and fraud, and there are several private equity firms that pre-negotiate to buy out debt from an issuer, then seek the court's approval to allow the issuer to issue free trading shares in settlement of the debt. The debt also needs to be bona fide, legit, and sometimes it is not. See also SEC versus Ignorate. So guys, as you can see, Mark has a tremendous experience in this type of litigations, and I think he knows by heart the majority of cases where this exemption was used, and definitely it leads us to a quite interesting conclusion that potentially, guys, all the trades that were made back in 2022 or in 2021, when MMTLP became tradable, was made under this exemption. And guys, as I already mentioned, we are gaining momentum, and despite the fact that some of you might not like the actions and the so-called wrongdoers in this case, but if it happens, guys, all the wrongdoers need to be prosecuted. Otherwise, guys, if they are not guilty, why in the world you are afraid of these actions? Everything will be settled and all of these people will continue to do their ordinary things, and nothing will happen with them. But at the same time, guys, this is the path how we can use the judicial system in order to find out the solution. And let me show you this very interesting tweet, in my opinion, that was written by Due Diligence, and I want to quote you this in some details. It's titled MMTLP Heating Up, Dodge, Congress, Legal Powerhouses and Trump's Spotlight Collide. At the very first part of this statement of this article, he explains that we have a lot of connections that were made recently, and a lot of actions, I would say, from senators, from congressional members. And I told you this basically a week ago, that Alec Rain and several other senators started to pay their attention to our case. And here's a quite interesting update. Due Diligence wrote, who requested the MMTLP ticker symbol? What is the consolidated count of shares that were held by investing public related to MMTLP at the time of the trading halt? And he added this. The newly established Department of Government Efficiency has officially put out a call for public tips on waste, fraud and abuse related to the SEC. Speaking personally, I wasted no time in making this push via Congress. In the past week alone, over 75 letters have been sent to congressional offices and staffers, alongside countless Zoom calls and phone discussions urging lawmakers to take action. I can confirm that formal request is in the works of being submitted, calling on DOJ to investigate the SEC and FINRA's handling of MMTLP, highlighting their lack of transparency, failure to respond to specific congressional inquiries, and potential misconduct in overseeing the trading halt. With DOJ actively seeking input, this could be a crucial moment to finally break through the SEC stonewalling and force real accountability. Again, from the first-hand experience, I can tell you that congressional representatives are not just giving lip service. Posts on X indicate more lawmakers are starting to hear their constituents fury over what they are calling financial devastation caused by regulatory incompetence. Could this finally be the push needed for the real Wall Street reform? While I sure as hell I'm hopeful, history has taught MMTLP shareholders not to hold our breath. But what we can do is push all of our reps that have taken action for us to call on DOJ to investigate this. And not just on social media, but by sending formal requests to them in writing. For its part, NextBridge Hydrocarbons, the private oil and gas company at the center of the MMTLP disaster, just made what many view as some major moves. They hired Houston-based Christian Attar law firm. What exactly the firm will be doing is yet to be revealed. And guys, we don't know what will be the main purpose of this hiring. However, to me, their involvement certainly signals something bigger than a social media defamation spot. This announcement followed another major update this week from NBH. The NextBridge's latest press release shared details about SEC delays in approving its S1 filing for a 40 million share offering. Many of X suspect the SEC is slow-walking the process to protect short sellers. One way or another, the fact that the company has been so vocal lately is viewed by many as a step in the right direction. And then there is Wes Christian himself. The man is viewed by many as a legend in fighting Wall Street corruption, and his involvement has many in the MMTLP community fired up. Christian's firm has a track record of exposing market manipulation, and if anyone can uncover what really happened when FINRA abruptly halted MMTLP trading on December 9, may believe it's him. Being a pessimist by nature, I always try to have more of a wait-and-see attitude. I will say, however, that having Wes locked and loaded both with NBH and the MMAT bankruptcy case, where MMTLP is also on the table, provides a bit of positive outlook, from me at least. Investors locked out of their positions since the halt of December 9. I have been demanding answers ever since, convinced that the halt was a deliberate move to protect Wall Street institutions at the expense of the investing public. Thus far, despite some big talk from people with even bigger mouths, all other efforts via the courts have fallen flat on their face. Now, with Christian on the case, many believe MMTLP investors might finally get a shot at justice through the judiciary avenue. Here's where things get interesting. Trump might be paying attention. Recent chatter on X suggests the former and current president is eyeing MMTLP as a part of his broader crusade against Wall Street corruption. I wouldn't be able to tell you either way, not sure what I believe there. While I have not seen any indicator that MMTLP is going to be his weapon against Wall Street, President Trump has, however, already called out GameStop and AMC as prime examples of market manipulation, and MMTLP investors are pushing hard to get our issue on his radar. With Trump's inner circle now stacked with heavyweights like Cash Patel and Pam Bondi, some investors believe there is a real chance that the foremost figure in our government could take up our cause. If he does, expect fireworks. And guys, I have to admit that yes, we know that potentially Donald Trump might know about our issue. First of all, guys, let me show you this part. And by the way, this letter was signed by 540 members, and just yesterday I believe it was just 505 members. And this is the letter, open letter, that was written by Daniel Oxer in regards to MMTLP case. And here you can see that his third update that he made on January 26, it is a letter to the president. On top of that, guys, don't forget about this letter that was written by David Nunes, the CEO of TMTG, where he stated that TMTG was the target for basically illegal actions of some wrongdoers. And he also added, he attached our letter that was signed by 74 members of Congress. And guys, David Nunes is the CEO of Trump Media Technology Group, and Trump Media, you know, belongs to Donald Trump. That is why I firmly believe that Donald Trump knew about our case, and he is, I think he will make some steps towards the resolution of this huge issue. So, and let me quote you further. Lest we forget, at the center of this mess is the SEC, and their handling of the situation has been nothing short of shady. Posts on X show images of FOIA requests that reveal the agency is sitting on the staggering 636,000 pages, 10.6 gigabytes of MMTLP-related documents, and refusing to release them. Investors say this cover-up is meant to protect hedge funds and brokers who are allegedly flooded the market with counterfeit shares, crushing MMTLP's value before the halt. Again, I can't speculate on that because I just don't know. I will say that to me, the SEC's repeated delays on NextBridge's S1 filing only add to the suspicion that the agency is actively working against investors. Some believe the SEC is stalling to bankrupt NextBridge and ensure short sellers never have to cover their fraudulent trades and prevent any of this abuse that is alleged to have occurred on their watch from ever seeing the light of day. So, what the hell is gonna happen next? For the 65,000 investors caught in this nightmare, this past week has felt like a turning point. Congress is paying attention, Dodge on the table, Wes Christian is locked in, and NextBridge isn't backing down. The big question now, will this momentum force regulators to finally come clean, or is this just another chapter in a long, infuriating story of market corruption? To blow this thing wide open, someone needs to drop the freaking hammer already. Whether it's a leaked SEC memo, a statement from Christian's team, or even a single Trump Truth Social post. Until then, the MMTLP community is watching, waiting, and rising hell online. That's what we do best, and we aren't going anywhere until this is resolved. Stay tuned, the fight is far from over. And guys, yes, I agree with the majority of these statements, and I don't want to dig deeper inside my own opinion in regards to this article, but in general, yes, I think the momentum is growing. And because of these guys, we might see major steps towards the resolution. On top of that, guys, here is quite a crucial part of today's video, one more crucial part of today's video, and it is an update in George Palikras versus Securities, not George Palikras, but Securities and Exchange Commission versus John Brda and George Palikras. And here is the tweet that was written by Junk Savvy. Defendant John Brda files motion to exclude improperly obtained evidence by plaintiff in SEC versus John Brda and George Palikros. In short, the SEC is using its investigative power to conduct discovery into matters squarely relevant to this case, but that discovery is being conducted in violation of the court's order and the federal rules of civil procedure and without any oversight whatsoever. So guys, how cool is that? We have a real bombshell in this litigation process. On top of that, guys, we have even more important updates from litigation path of our community. Roman Soups published a set of tweets in regards to the most recent updates. Let me quote them just briefly in order to see how big the updates are. And let me quote you starting from this one. Number 1209, all sorts of defendants showing up for Jason Rolla. Looks like he's ahead of most of the other 1209 lawsuits. Can he hold the lead? FINRA DTCC checked in. No word from SEC or US Attorney General yet. And he added the link to the court listener where you can see the update. Let me show you. No, it is not this case, but I think it is this one, or it doesn't matter, guys, you can read it by yourself. Next one, 1209, Wilcott has summons, no filing that they've been served. When say hell no, and here's your lawsuit. To John Brda, Greg McCabe and others. Quite interesting update from this part of 1209 community. Next one, 1209, waiting for Matt Peace to file amended complaint. Next one, 1209. Daniel Spears granted motion to file electronically. Amended complaint coming in. John Doe summons? Who knows? Stay tuned. And another update, Vetrano versus Brda et al. Motion to extend time to serve defendants filed. And another update, 1209, a few updated this week in Trott versus Rubinstein Schwab case. And guys, tomorrow I will do another update in order to show you the details in all of these updates, but definitely, as you can see, we are gaining a huge momentum, and I think something big is coming. That is why we are still here and we are fighting till the very end.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack.